Okay, I've hit the record button. Yeah, I really wanted to do this video better than I'm going to do it. Maybe it'd be 10 parts, I don't know. But whatever, we'll see what happens. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's basically the tag video thing, and I'll post it as a response to the guy who tagged me. But I'm eventually going to move it to there's some chick who started the video, and so I'll move it over there. Anyway, yeah, this is sort of is a good question. You know, why do you live? Yeah, ooh. Especially in the context of the if there is no God. I mean, that's the follow-up context to the question. But this did bring up a lot of shit. So anyway, but I was also thinking, that I thought of the line I had in the video the other day. I said that line where I said, I have a couch that loves me. I don't need this shit. I have a couch that loves me. I'm saying that's a great quote. I say a lot of stuff that's interesting. And I'm supposed to have all these minions. And there is this guy, I'm going to post a link, who's taken some of my video content and put it to an image. I have to give him some better images. And music in the background kind of thing. And it's pretty good. I mean, somebody should make the Reader's Digest version of my videos. It's like I should do this video like really concisely, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do this fucking rambling shit. And I have a headache, and I'm tired to really be really articulate about it. So anyway, but I got to get people to do that maybe. Got to get me some minions that don't mind doing some work, and they could just improve my videos. Probably a good idea. Make them shorter and more perfect. And then quote mine me. Lots of quote mining. There's a lot of good quotes. I gotta write them down. Gotta put them in my book that I don't want to write. It'd be a lot easier to write the book if I just put a bunch of my quotes in it. Yeah. But anyway, so to the video. Alright, so let's assume there's the right answer to the question. Why should you live? Let's change it a little bit. Why should you live? Not why do you live? If there's no God. Because you're just a fucking parasite, You're just consumption and reproduction. And you gotta concede it is kind of mediocrity, right? I mean, life is mostly mediocrity. And and death is like as easy as going to sleep. I mean, you go to sleep and, you're dead basically if you're not dreaming. And you really don't, you're not in a panic when you're dead, when you're sleeping, so it can't be that bad, right? Yeah. So, where was I going to go with this? Yeah, but there is one right answer, I think. And the right answer is to build a better future. So, I mean, even if you're hopeless, even if your life absolutely sucks, you probably should hang in there as long as you can, because there's probably things you can do that'll make the future better. That'll prevent somebody in the future from having to suffer some suffering. And I guess that's where this all comes down to, is like, religion doesn't really talk about the one thing, except for maybe the Buddhists. I mean, they have this concept of one God, but they don't have a concept of one consciousness, one of any equality between consciousnesses. And that's a real huge miss. I mean, not for the Christians or the Muslims to get that part. I mean, they get to do unto others things as you would do unto yourself. And you know what? If you just take those words the way they're stated, it's right. But nobody lives it that way. They think about it like, oh, I don't want somebody to throw a stone at me, so I won't throw a stone at them because I don't want to have a stone thrown at me. I mean, they think it in like, how do I personally advantage? Like gift giving. I'll give them a gift and then they'll give me a gift. And it's about the return thing. That's how people are thinking about it. Instead of thinking about it in terms of, oh, don't do unto others because they are an equal to you, and anything you do to them is the same thing as doing it to yourself. Even if they don't throw a stone back at you, throwing a stone at them, it was the same thing as throwing a stone at your own fucking head, asshole. It's a consciousness. It's equal to you. Okay, you can't win by hurting it. And and it's like that concept is just lost. But a lot of probably valid concepts in religion have been lost because the assholes own the religions. But yeah, it's a big one. I mean, that's a big idea. Like, you're gonna have like a big idea. It's really a big idea, that equal sign thing. Because once you get that, once you realize that it doesn't matter, this personal identity thing is quite meaningless in a world of 7 billion personal identities. And so you really have to think in terms of the entire snowstorm and not the individual snowflakey bullshit. And one snowflake can't just sit there and say, well, I mean, it's like if you were a clone, right? You wouldn't sit there and enslave half the other clones, right? You wouldn't sit there and just enslave yourself. You wouldn't force yourself to work in China for 15 hours a day, so you could sit around masturbating in a nice, comfortable lifestyle. You wouldn't do that. And it's just it's just nonsense the way we make distinctions. I mean, so we are essentially clones. I made this argument before, but it's just so obvious. I mean, the Europeans, when they came to the New World, they killed their ancestors. They killed their great nephews and nieces and all that shit. It's the same genetic line. It's only 40,000 years difference in the genetic line, and they killed them. They treat them like dirt. It's cannibalism, and that's we're worse than parasites. We're cannibalistic parasites, and yeah, that's just nothing to feel great about. So yeah, I mean, I think the religious people do have an argument in the sense that, well, sure, I mean, it'd be a lot better to have a heaven to go to, than and some answer for why everything sucks. That'd be great to have. But they really don't have that, so it's not even a valid argument, because the Christian heaven is nothing. Who the hell wants it? They can't even describe it. It's such a ripoff. They don't even describe it. That's how bad it is. They just tell you you're not going to know anybody you know now, like your wife or your husband, and it's kind of already been established that sex is a sin. So I don't know what the fuck you're going to be doing up there. But it don't sound like it's going to be much fucking fun. Now, the Islam guys, they got the virgin thing, all that stuff, so they sort of get it. So if you're going to do the religion thing, you might as well do that one. And their hell is kind of funny. A little snake bites you all the time. Snake bit me. Oh, snake bit me. Damn, snake, fucker. So I mean, that could be a little bit. There's a little challenge there. Battling the snake forever. But anyway. It's just this. Well, anyway, so back to my point is that the future is where all the people are going to live. I mean, in the present's just one snowflake. You're just, you can keep just reducing. I mean, you're just one snowflake among all the human snowflakes, and the humans are just one snowflake among all the sentient beings. Snowstorm. I mean, you got to contextualize this thing. And the future is a big, giant snowstorm. I mean, so if you can make things better for those snowflakes, you're winning. So I guess that would be my argument to why you got to hang in there even when it's really shitty. Not really shitty, though, obviously. I mean, if it's really shitty, I mean, I'm not going to obligate you. But there's the other answer to this question, too, is that it's inconvenient to die. I mean, I could say, okay, people give me the right to die right now. Okay, I can just snap my fingers and be dead. Well, I'm not going to just snap my fingers and be dead because I got to worry about the cat. I mean, what the cat's going to sleep if I'm dead? Who's going to clean up this fucking mess? I mean, I got arrangements to make. And then there's a couple of people who are just so fucking dependent on my existence, and I got to find something for them to, latch onto. So I got shit to clean up here. Can't just bail any old fucking time I want. And so that complicates things. Because it's not really convenient to die. It's inconvenient, and life is inconvenient and mediocre. So we got these two pretty much shitty choices: live mediocre life or die mediocrely. I mean, it's not a great choice. So, what else do I want to say about that? I mean, I know I had another point on that whole, but yeah, it's just this lifestyle thing. And then also the context is we're addicted. I mean, it's not that complicated. we live to. I live to. I live with the hope that there will be nipples to nibble on in my future. We live for the shit that you can't do if you're dead, because you're sort of addicted to it. You're sort of like hopeful and wanting, and that's that's what all it is. It's just bullshit. I mean, we can call it something else, but it's bullshit. But that would be sort of interesting if people really gave some description, because it always comes out like some kind of dopey Hallmark card, Oh, I want to live for my grandchildren, or some kind of shit. Like I'm going to go to Great Adventure next month. I got Super Bowl tickets. I mean, what the fuck do we really live for? I mean, it's really base stuff, really crude and a little fucking adventure.